The following is a presentation of Jacob Sports.
Welcome back to the National High School Wrestling Show. I am your host, Henry Racich, as we dive deep into the high school wrestling world. If you're tuning in right now, there is no way in hell that you do not know who's to my right on this set here. Bo Bassett, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I got to see you wrestle live for the first time this weekend out in Altoona. Little different than Hershey, but hey, they got the job done out there. That was a great tournament. Everything went well. How you feeling after that?
Yeah, feeling good. We had a great tournament. I think team did well. We obviously had the rematch, and hey, you don't always get that, right? Obviously, Pennsylvania is the best state, but it wasn't just a state final. It was a national final. So that was exciting. It was a great tournament. We were back to work even yesterday, and then back to work today on Monday. But it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I think there was a lot of lessons to be learned and some great matches.
Yeah, but let's talk about your match with Jake Stein. Now, first thing, when I see Jake Stein, I think of length, how long he is and tall he is. I think you put something up about a David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Pretty close to that. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was. And I'm not super short, I don't think. And he was just super tall. And, one of our strategies coming into the dual meet was we were trying to get Butler into the lineup. Our whole plan was he was going to hopefully win his match at 39. He did great, but he came up short. So that kind of backfired on us a little bit. But that was our game plan, was to stick him in there, bump up Herring, I bump, Magro, and then Miller also bumped. So that was like kind of our plan. So I bumped up to Stein. I knew he was big, but I didn't know he was that tall. But he's not only tall, he's not only big, he's a great wrestler, and I have nothing but respect for him. He wrestled my brother, Melvin, last year, twice. Okay. So I knew of him, obviously, and I see him at every big event. I know he's like 8 in the country. He's top 10 in the country at the weight above. So I have a lot of respect for him. And shaking hands during captains was when I really realized how tall this guy was. And I'm shaking his hand and looking up, and then I finally reached his height. And it was
like Rocky and Drago a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. No, nothing but respect for him. It was a great match. He's a great scrambler. I feel like that's one of my strengths, and so it was fun to scramble with a guy who's that sound and that technical.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think I've ever been in a situation when I heard more about the coin toss, how the coin toss meant everything. And I'm thinking, man, really, does it really mean that much, like the flip of a coin? And it really did. I mean, both teams really wanted that option.
Yeah, I think it did. It was the talk of our week. Whether we won or lost, we were going to be like, all right, we can do this. We've got work to do if we don't win the coin toss, but it's still 100% possible. And that was our mindset. If we win the coin toss, fired up. If not, we're still fired up. We're fired up to wrestle. And so the last 2 years we've lost the coin toss. Unfortunately, that was God's plan. Hey, we gotta roll with the punches. And I still felt like we were confident, we were ready to go, and that's just how it worked out. But it's kind of cool to see that you guys were thinking about the coin toss too, because we definitely were. And it was one of those things, my body language when I saw us lose, because I'm out there with captains, so I'm right there by the coin.
I watched you very close during that.
Yep. I still clapped, and I guess some of our fans thought we won the coin toss, but we didn't. But it was good to just keep that body language for the team. It is what it is. Got to be positive. So.
I'm a coach. I coach at football, high levels of football, coach with the Philly Soul, with China. Body language, kids don't realize how important that is, that right. Something bad happens that you don't, that's, and I noticed that one thing about you is that you're always very positive, reinforcing. Let's go. Keep it up. Let it go. Don't worry about that. Forget it. Boom. Like you're like that guy. Like you stay pretty even keel, during it all.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's huge. It's super important because if you're going to be like one of the leaders of the team, and I try to be that, you got to lead by example. So I was trying to keep it high energy, positive. I know that's not what we wanted, and kind of like worst case, right? You want to win the coin toss and have the matchups that you need, but at that point, you gotta get the next best thing and just do your best at that. With the matchups we were given, but it kind of, if we win that coin toss, I think it's different matchups for sure. The game stayed the same, but I think obviously it would favor you if you win the coin toss there.
Yeah, I know that, and I found this out a little later during the tournament that Jax really wanted to bump down and see Joey,
right,
and do that matchup. But when it didn't happen, I thought he looked a little ticked off about it, like that didn't happen. And unfortunately, my son's the one he had to wrestle, and he had to take the brunt of the frustration. But
yeah, well, he sacrificed pretty hard. He did for sure. I saw him. It was a little bit of a cut. He handled it well. I thought he did a great job. He's a professional. On the mat, off the mat, professional. He is. He does things right. It really stunk to see him go to a different college than me. Obviously, I'm happy for him, proud of him, but I really wanted to stick with him and stay with him. But it was God's plan.
At Iowa.
I wanted him to come with us in the black and gold, but he's going to Oklahoma State. I couldn't be more proud. That's awesome for him. He's going to do amazing things. But he sacrificed for us and wanted that match. And again, I mean, it's about winning a national title as a team. So I totally understand why they made that move. But yeah, I mean, I can understand his frustration. He definitely missed a couple. He didn't eat the ice cream or the cake. I can tell you that. So.
Let's talk about Iowa, man. Congratulations. That is awesome. Awesome for you. Phenomenal. So happy for you. You get to wear the black and yellow, stay in the Steeler spectrum. But, yeah, man. So let's talk about that. So why Iowa?
Yeah, well, it's been a dream for me since I was young, and I kind of try to keep it within my family just because, especially during the recruiting process, because I was open. I wanted to hear everybody out. I did like 7 visits. Like, that's more than normal. Just because I wanted to see where I was.
7 visits to 7 different colleges?
Yes, sir. Yeah, went to 7 weekends. I got great training. It was awesome. It was really cool to see these different places. I obviously visited Iowa, and I felt like that was the place where I could be the best wrestler person, where I could grow in my faith. And I think that coming out of Carver Hawkeye Arena is going to be pretty special. The Iowa fans and the empire, I like to describe it as, is like it's going to be pretty awesome to wrestle there. And again, it's been something that I've been looking forward to my whole life. That was like the dream. So to make that happen, it's going to be pretty awesome. And I know that being from Pennsylvania, that's a tough decision to make. But I believe that it's the right decision. It wasn't the easy one.
Now, was there anybody, were you up tossing and turning about a couple schools? Was it like, then Iowa, or was it, you're pretty lasered in for a while in Iowa?
Yeah, I feel like at this point I'm super lasered in. I was lasered in for a while. I think talking it over with my family, my coaches, the people that mean the most was really weighing all the options. I got to a point where the top 7 was kind of where it got really tough. And then the top 3, top 4 there was extremely hard. And making those calls, telling people that, hey, I'm not, coming there is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Must have an easy life if that's one of the hardest things. But it was tough. Telling people that, that's not where I'm going to go, and try not to burn bridges because you know how wrestling goes, and keep great relationships. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty lasered in. I love Iowa. I'm excited to become the best version of me, hopefully.
Dude, what I love about this whole story, being in the football world a lot, pro boxer, all that stuff, you hear about these deals, these NIL deals for football guys. They're like astronomical, going through the roof. And you kind of are the first guy to break through, not only a trendsetter, but, people you're opening the door for a lot of opportunity for a lot of kids.
Yes, so I think so. I think that if we can keep building our sport to be like football or, basketball, that would be awesome. And I think in a lot of these colleges, wrestling is like the top sport, just doing the best. Numbers can keep going up, attendance. We can try to keep getting on TV more, putting out great images on social media. That's my goal, is to keep growing the sport. I think we're making steps in the right direction.
Yeah, I was talking to your dad a little bit. What a great guy. Your dad's a really cool dude, man.
Yeah, he's the man.
So the juggernaut that is, like, we're in media, obviously, so I see all your stuff out there. It's a full-time job tracking Bo Bassett's life, man. I mean, it's like you have a team there, like a media marketing team, I'm assuming, because there's not one person can't do all that. So you're used to collaborating, with a lot of different, voices. Does that ever get a little too much, or does Pop handle a lot of that stuff?
I think for me, it's just part of my lifestyle. It's what I love to do kind of on the side. So if I'm not wrestling, like I'm trying to grow my brand and trying to, I mean, really it is still wrestling. I'm still trying to get better and finding ways to put out the right image and try to grow the wrestling world. So I love doing that part of things. My dad has been he's my role model. He's my inspiration. Like, he's the man. He's been here through every step of the way. So, he helps me a lot with that. I do have an agent and stuff, but I get a lot of help, and I think that, again, it's what I love to do. So it's not really ever too much. It's just kind of something I do on the side, and I think that we really time manage well, and I think that we schedule our plans out and make sure that we're doing things right, and getting obviously the training in and trying to back up what we're posting.
Man, I mean, if you look back, now I saw some pictures of you, as a little tiny 5, 6, or 7, I don't know. But I mean, when you look back, you're in 11th grade now, and it's not a 20-year look back, but it's in the last 10 years, you look back, and could you ever think did you think this is where you'd be? I mean, there's called manifestation. We manifest these things, but bro, you're another level with this. So,
yeah, I mean, I visualized when I was younger a lot. We were always really big in visualizing and setting really high goals, and I don't think I ever pictured it like exactly this. But I knew I could do great things and try to achieve my goals, but I didn't know what that would really look like. And I think just being here, I'm just super blessed. I have a lot of amazing opportunities, but a lot of amazing people around me. My family's unbelievable, and wouldn't be here without them, along with my coaches and my training partners. But I think I'm just a super blessed person to be where I'm at, and the tools that I've been given to be able to bear the right fruits. And it's been great. It's been really fun. I think if I look back, I had big goals, but I didn't know what it really looked like. And it's pretty crazy, what we're being able to do in Pennsylvania. I think like Flo was telling me, I'm pretty sure that duel that we had in the state national finals, there was like almost record-setting attendance. Like, that's pretty awesome to be able to do that in high school and keep making this sport better and keep growing it. And I think both teams do a really good job of putting their faith first. So, when I was younger, I imagined like some pretty cool stuff, but I don't know if I imagined like being able to just inspire like we've been able to do.
Well, what do you do to get away from the noise, all that stuff? Do you fish, you shoot? Well, I mean, what do you do when you need to I need to be by myself for a little bit, get away from all this. You do?
Yeah, well, I've got 2 brothers at home, and we compete in everything. So both my brothers are super competitive, so we're competing all the time. Obviously, wrestling is like what we do, but it's not us, And I don't like to be known as like the wrestler, or like in like my town or whatever. Like, oh, he's the wrestler, or whatever it is. I would rather be known as, hey, like, first of all, a follower of God, but like just know me as a person. I like to be the best person I can be. We do have a hunting camp. It's about actually 2 hours north, I believe. It's up towards New York. So it's about 2 hours north. No self-service. We go up there on open weekends. We don't really get up there a lot, but we try to. And it's just awesome. Lakes and rivers and just lots of open field. And then there's obviously mountains in Pennsylvania. And it's pretty awesome. There's no self-service, so you get out there. We try to go up there as much as we can. That's something we like to do. We like to travel. And I think really, again, I just compete with my brothers in everything. If Keegan wants to hop online and play Madden or play NCAA, I'll kick his butt here and there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever he wants to do. But we're big sports fans as well. Like we get excited for the Super Bowl and watching this. We're big Steelers guys, but last night we were big Eagles fans from Pennsylvania. Right. And we watch college football as well. But spending time with my family is really big. We like to travel. And, again, my 2 best friends are in my house. So it's awesome.
So you hunt like deer and bear and all that stuff? Fishing?
Yes, there is. There's deer, there's bear, there's squirrels, there's bald eagles up there. There's a lot of different types of snakes. So they got everything up there. There's a lot of great fishing spots as well. I haven't been huge into hunting. I think I've went like just a couple of times with my dad. I don't got any kills, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge hunter. But I've been fishing a couple of times. The last time I went up there, me, Keegan, Melvin, Magro, there's some good fishing spots, and he was getting his rod out. But we go up there just to get away from all the noise and just the world and the grind. And it's just nice to get out there where it's just the people you love and just get away from it all. But it's pretty awesome. But my dad was more big into that growing up. It's just now just wrestling takes a lot of our time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's a year round. You guys do a year round. You do freestyle and all that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big into that. I started freestyle when I was like 8. So I've been doing freestyle a long time.
How about Greco? You do any of that?
Well, I did do Greco for a while, probably like 5 years, and then it just didn't make sense to me anymore as far as competing, just because we don't put a lot of time into it. There's not a lot of great resources in the U.S. It's not our strength, but I think that we're starting to go in the right direction. It's just tough because there's not really any like Greco-centered coaches, and I think that it's one of those things I would rather go all in on freestyle and folk style. But I did do a lot of Greco, and I'm not the best brother at Greco. I can tell you that. Keegan has the crown there, but he also retired from Greco as well. So we're not, we train it. I think it's important to have that aspect, and it is wrestling, but we only compete folk style and freestyle.
No, that's awesome, man. So Iowa, what are your immediate goals at Iowa? Do you have anything immediately you want to accomplish going there?
I just think that Iowa is a place where I can really grow my brand. I can grow myself. I can grow as a wrestler, as a person, and I can grow in my faith. And I think that I can, everybody knows Iowa wrestling, especially if you know wrestling, right? And it's just one of those places that I really believe that I can grow that place and try to help grow in the sport. I mean, everybody loves high intensity, lots of points type style, and I want to bring that to Iowa. And I know they all already do a great job of that, but keep putting out the right image, change the program as much as I can. Obviously, it's going to be tough to do that because they're so awesome already. But I think for me, it's just achieve my goals. And that maybe is like, hey, 4-time NCAA champion and then world champion, Olympic champion. But I think for me, it's just, hey, be the best wrestler I can possibly be.
Yeah, I always like old standard for years. I mean, I'm 55, so as a kid, Dan Gable, Iowa was like the mecca. And, I guess you want to try to resurrect that a little bit. I mean, they're always up there in the top 5, 10.
I think so. Yeah, I may bring that back. Why not? Why not us? Obviously, Penn State's been the team the last couple of years. It'd be awesome to take them down. But I think that, if we could just keep every single day getting a little bit better, I think that that's definitely possible. And Iowa's a place where I think I can really reach my full potential. So I'm excited to chase those goals.
Awesome. Bo Bassett, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy young man. God bless you, man. I'm so happy for you. The groundbreaking things you're doing in the sport. I'm a fan. The haters, put them in the rearview mirror. I know none of that ever bothers you, brother. Tell your dad I said hello, and thanks for coming on. We'll get you before you go to college.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Best of luck the rest of the year, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
We'll see you in States, brother. Take care.
Sir. Thank you, guys. God bless.
All right, be back soon. Henry Racich on the National High School Wrestling Show.
If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let Jacob Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call Jacob Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.